Hey everybody, it's your girl BondyBlue, and I am here to announce that I am teaming up with Reset by Design Wellness, a travel and wellness brand that focuses on empowering Black women like you and I, girl. And I am so excited because I have been wanting to go to Africa for forever, and I am finally getting that opportunity with this upcoming Heritage and Reset Wellness Retreat in Ghana. It's going down, y'all, in November 1st through the 9th, 9 days, 8 nights. It's going to be 2 different locations when we're on this trip. This is all inclusive. It's going to come with so many benefits, including an African ancestry test. There's going to be cooking classes, a boat cruise. There's going to be an opportunity to engage, to rejuvenate, to connect with one another, to connect with our ancestors. I am so excited about this, and I'm even more excited that some of my members will be coming along and we can experience Africa together, because this will be my first time. So I am so excited about this. I can't wait to go, and I hope that you guys will sign up. The link is down below in the description box. Don't worry, girl, I will be reminding y'all about this, so y'all might get tired of me talking about it, but that's okay, because it is important for us to all travel and have these amazing experiences, and some of them, girl, we need to have together. So go ahead down below in the description box, book it. Come on in, come on in, come on in, not come on in, not come. Sorry, y'all know I'm weird, whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. So let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video, right?
BondyBlue, and I'm back for another Real Housewives of Atlanta review, child. Y'all, I don't know what's going on with Atlanta. And I mean like the viewership. Like, I don't know what's going on with the people that watch this show. I don't know what anybody's watching. Okay? But to me, I feel like Marlo Hampton. Okay? I feel like LaToya Hutchinson is playing in everybody's face. That's what I think. I think she's pretending to be hurt. I think she's pretending to care about Kandi, not giving flowers or catering her nephew's funeral. It all gives, I have nothing else going on. And so because everybody likes Kandi and everybody made me seem like I was the bad guy last year, I'm going to go from being aggressive to acting erratically and being passive aggressive, because that's what she did. All of that. And another thing that I want to say, when Marlo is holding her hands behind her back, I don't know about y'all, but when I was growing up and the girls who could really like fight, when they would get into arguments, they would be moving back and forth. They would put their hands behind their back because they wanted you to swing on them first, because they knew that as soon as you swung, they was going to hit one of these and then they was going to pop your ass. So Sonya and her whole, I don't know why they keep saying Marlo's aggressive. Her hands were behind her back the whole time. Sonya, you playing in our face too, bitch. We can see you. We know that it was going to be harder for you to fit in with Kandi and Kenya. It was going to be harder for you to fit in with them, because they were going to require you to actually be like a real person in order for them to like you. They weren't going to just like you because you came on the show. So it was easier for you to become friends with Marlo and Sheree, because that is not a friendship. That's an alliance. We know that this show will work better if there's a us versus them scenario going on. Because I don't believe Marlo's tears for a second. I keep bringing up my past. When was the last time we talked about Marlo slicing somebody's face? We have not talked about that in years. And then she gets on this episode every time. I can't even, Sheree backing the bullshit up, talking about Marlo can't even get a sentence out before someone is bringing up her past. And then the production proceeds to use only the shit that happened in this episode as an example for when that's really been brought up as a negative. For the longest, everybody was championing Marlo and her involvements and her going from being down at the bottom of the barrel with the bitches fighting in the prison to up here on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Everybody was championing that transition. Everybody got a pass. Most black people come from dire straits. So nobody was really actively out here judging Marlo. That's bullshit for one. Marlo gets judged because Marlo is judgmental. Marlo wants to call other people hoes. So we have to remind her, you told us you was out here fucking old white men for change. Not really change, y'all, but still. How you gonna call somebody else something? Candy was fucking for free. Girl, how you gonna bring that up? How you gonna bring that up? How? That's why the face slicing thing gets brought up. It gets brought up because you're actively trying to malign other people. You're trying to judge other people. You're trying to call other people hood and ghetto and trying to insinuate that Candy, I guess it's some hood ghetto girl that brings about this aggressive energy. Marlo, not only are you being passive aggressive and gaslighting, you're projecting. You're projecting. And the weird ass bitches around you are going along with it. Courtney don't even know you like that, and she's in the fucking confessionals bucking for you. Sheree is going to be on whatever side she chooses to be on, whichever side she thinks is it. Child, Sheree's just always on the wrong side. Like, it don't matter what's going on, girl. Sheree gonna be on the wrong side of something. Like, that's just normally how it goes. If she does not choose to be on the wrong side of something, I'm always surprised. Okay. Like, Courtney's a hanger on. You trying to be, you trying to be important in this group, and we don't even know you like that. Like, why is she orchestrating a group event? We don't even know her like that, and half of us don't even play with like. To me, in all honesty, Kenya and Candy's attitudes towards everybody, I know they want to feel like it's how Nene was, like I'm above this shit. But in all honesty, the difference is Candy isn't really like that. Like, Candy isn't really like y'all are beneath me. Candy is just like, I'm not entertaining this bullshit because I know it's bullshit. Nene might have had that same sentiment, but Nene also felt like she was better than everybody and that she could survive without this check, and that was not true. Candy can survive without this check. If she were to actually be like that, it would make more sense than when Nene was like that. Nene had 2 acting jobs outside of Real Housewives of Atlanta and thought she was moving on to bigger Trump checks and she could just give everybody her ass to kiss. It's a slight difference. I understand where y'all coming from, but it's a slight difference there. So at the beginning of this episode, we recap Candy and Marlo's relationship. Nene was mad they removed her from the picture. I saw that. Because they gave us a Real Housewives of Atlanta little, intro from back in the day, and Nene should have been on it, and she was not. And I was like, Nene, I'm really gonna need for you to hang it up at this point. Like, girl, as a black woman, we all understand you feeling slighted about them trying to erase you from the franchise history. But the truth of the matter is, if they ever gonna play the whole episode, they cannot erase you from franchise history. It was absolutely shade that you were not in that picture, as if you weren't a part of that season. But Nene, I would like to remind you how you dug your feet in the sand with the way you decided to go at Bravo. And I also would like to remind everybody that Bravo's racism only became an issue for Nene when they weren't giving her the umpteenth chance to give them her ass to kiss and then turn around and come back on the show. Because that's what she kept doing. For a while, she was being difficult. And she felt like she could. She wasn't playing her cards right. She wasn't being smart. She overplayed her hand. I've said that time and time again. So now that you done told everybody that Andy was a racist cokehead, now that you've brought out litigation against Bravo, y'all really want us to be surprised when they erase her from the screenshot? Like, come on. This is why you can't burn bridges if you want to go back to them. You don't burn bridges if you want to go back to them. She burned bridges. That's what getting that bad attitude and thinking you so big and bad and you so real, that's what that shit gets you in trouble. That's what some of that fakeness that, all y'all so-called real people that y'all get mad at, people like Candy or other, people like Melody that know how to be amicable and handle their business because they want to continue to be able to handle their business. Y'all get mad, y'all call those people fake. Y'all want to be like Nene burn bridges and then still online bitter about not being included when you done gave them people your ass to kiss for years and years. Yes, Jocelyn as well. She's another one. Anyway, so Marlo talks to people. I don't know about how Candy, Marlo talks to people. I don't know about how Candy can't just use the platform just for her businesses, as if Candy has never talked about her personal life. Y'all exhaust me with this, and I'll even hear y'all out who feel like Candy and Kenya have run their course as far as they don't have as much going on or as much to share anymore now that they've gotten into this phase of their life. But in real life, if we really looking at it, people are not going to always have TV, entertainment going on in their lives. Like, I think everybody in the fucking comments can agree that most of our lives are boring, and camera following us around wouldn't necessarily create a hit reality show all the time. Now, if you skip back maybe a few months ago, last year, few years back, maybe we'd have different conversations, just as we're having with Candy and Kenya. You're following people's lives, and then you're getting upset when their lives have come to a toe and shit is just running like a well-oiled machine over there with Candy. We got a lot going on, but for the most part, our life is not in turmoil, because reality TV is only interesting when people's lives are really going through turmoil. Like, to be clear, like, I know y'all want to act like y'all care about when people are going through good things, but y'all really don't. Y'all only want to know when shit is going bad. And I honestly feel like at this point, if people have the opinion that Candy shouldn't be on the show, Kenya shouldn't be on the show because they have no more to give entertainment wise, because they're in good places in their lives, I can understand that. I could. But what we not going to do is pretend like because these people finally have peace in their lives that they don't need to be on the show anymore because they're not showing what's really going on. This is not Love and Marriage Huntsville. Then people have absolutely showed the things that have been going on in their lives for years now. It's time for y'all to focus on some other people. Marlo, sweetheart, you showing us your relationship with your nephews, which oftentimes feels very fake, forced, and done just because the cameras are there. The therapy sessions that feel very fake, forced, done just because the cameras are there. Sheree, baby, you mean to tell me you got a 3-month-old grandbaby and this is the first time we hearing about it? I'm not even surprised, because I feel like you only handled the baby because the cameras was around. I don't think we're seeing anything from any of y'all that are complaining about Candy. We're not seeing anything real from y'all. Girl, we're not seeing anything real from y'all. Sonya might be the only one that's showing what's really going on in her life, but we also know that she's not showing us everything because she's faking and fronting, because that's what she do. That's what she just do in general to me. I just think that Sonya is one of those people that people pleases so much that she doesn't know how to be real in a moment. And she knows that as a Jamaican, she's supposed to be real. She's supposed to be honest. Culturally, she's supposed to be a, no nonsense, I'm going to tell you how it is type person, but that's not really who she is. And y'all, it's another thing that makes me look at the people. Like, it makes me wonder who has abused Sonya in her life. Because she people pleases way too hard. And it makes me feel like, I don't know who abuses you or who has abused you, Sonya, or who has you walking on, eggshells. But I can tell the way you respond to Marlo, the always wanting to defend people who exhibit aggressive behavior. You often come to the defense of somebody whenever they're called aggressive. And that's starting to click for me. And now I'm looking at you like, okay, Sonya, you want to talk? What's going on in your life? Because you're really starting to come off like somebody that makes excuses for abusive personalities. And when you are that type of person, that usually means that there are people who are abusive in your vicinity that you love. Which is why when it comes to Marlo, you like to, grab hold of her. I don't know why. She wasn't nice to you. You should know that any niceties she's giving you is for her own benefit so that she can have a click on this show. But Sonya is absolutely showing up to me as someone that is people pleasing because they have abusive or aggressive personalities around them that they love, and she is projecting that onto Marlo. So why we're defending Marlo so hard, why we're constantly, whenever we hear the word aggression or aggressive, we come to the defense of whoever is being called that. Sonya, I don't know who abused you and told you it was your responsibility to make sure that the abuse was kept quiet and that person's, that person's image retained, whatever cleanliness it had. Like, it absolutely feels like Sonya is in autopilot when it comes to protecting abusers, making excuses for them, and instantly getting triggered into feeling away. Her response to Drew was so weird to me. Like, why are you getting this upset at Drew for her calling Marlo aggressive? You weren't even over there, and you know Marlo is aggressive. Marlo may not have been being physically aggressive in the moment, but she was being passive aggressive. She absolutely was. So there was some aggression happening. Drew wasn't completely out of pocket. Drew also is somebody that likes to gaslight herself. Like, she's also somebody, I believe, that because so much, she now mirrors that behavior. So Drew's whole thing about the shooting in Chicago and all of that is a way for her to respond to what's happening to her. You want to come at me on some bullshit? Oh, I didn't check Candy good enough for you. Well, bitch, shooting, we don't say the word shooting around my way. Because that's like promoting shootings, girl. We don't do that. Now, we know that don't make no fucking sense. We know that. But I also recognize what Drew is doing. Okay? And I feel like what Drew is doing is also representative of whatever that relationship she got going on with Ralph, where somebody constantly has to make themselves a victim to the point where they're not even assessing the situation correctly. And it's because they're so used to, hey, look at what they're doing. Look at what they're doing to me. She's being aggressive. Like Drew absolutely did. She's being aggressive to Marlo. And it felt so disingenuous when she did it. But also, I feel like, again, you're doing what you do because of the way you're being, abused in your situation. And Marlo is being aggressive. Marlo was being highly antagonistic. The whole line of questioning, the whole storyline is antagonistic, y'all. The whole I'm going to use your nephew's shooting as a way to make you look bad, that would piss me off the way Candy is pissed off as well. I'm going to just keep it a buck. Because I don't like when people use very sensitive situations, very... you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all know how Candy feel about her nephew. She raised him like he was her son, and he was shot. And I feel like you can tell that it's a lot of trauma behind that. Didn't Candy's brother also get killed? I don't know if he was shot or not, or it was like an accident or something. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but I do know that Candy's brother was, died young as well. And so just as Marlo is trying to make it seem as if this situation triggered what happened with her nephew, this situation could have triggered what happened with Candy's brother back in the day. Yes. Oh, okay. Thank you. That's what I thought. Candy's brother was shot and killed at 15. So and that's why I got so upset. Okay. So wait, was it a car accident or was it a shooting? I can't remember. Either way, I feel like the situation could have been just as triggering for Candy. And you're using this moment. He was hit by a drunk driver. Okay. Automobile accident. Candy was 15. Okay. All right. Got it. He got hit by a drunk driver. Okay. Cool. But still, her brother, this is a nephew, somebody dying in the family that's close. You know what I'm saying? Like anything could have happened. That shit could have been triggering for Candy as well. And you using this very sensitive moment to try and what? Make Candy look like a bad guy and make yourself look like a victim? Y'all, that's fucked up. I'm sorry, but that's really, really fucked up. And in all honesty, I feel like it's very disgusting to pretend as if you're having emotions. And this is what I was saying about Marlo last season. Marlo went into therapy so she could learn the language to use against people. It's not so she can actually heal herself and do better. It's so that she can have the correct language to abuse other people, to victimize other people and make herself look like a victim. That's what she did in this situation. And in all honesty, I totally understand Candy's anger and aggression. The only thing is that because people not going to always be in the headspace to ignore you. And I think Kenya has been ignoring Marlo this whole season. And I think that Candy had been ignoring Marlo. They really probably had been assuming that most of the shit that Marlo is doing is just so she can retain her peach, and we ain't really going to be too mad at her about it. I think everybody overall on the show has the energy of, we know sometimes people do the most because we're on this show. It has to be entertaining, so we're not going to hold it against everybody when we're having these moments all the time. This was not one of those times. This is one of them times where you absolutely are using a sensitive situation not only to fuck up Candy's business by promoting the idea that her businesses aren't safe, when you know most of the people that come to her restaurants come from the show. So you trying to fuck up her money, and then you using this situation with her nephew to make yourself a victim while maligning her in the process. And then also the rallying of the other girls to have an issue with Candy as well is also very fucked up to me. Like, I really wish really argue about, you know what I'm saying? But this is not even anything I'm about to argue with anybody about. Like, I'm not about to do this with nobody. Like, we're not about to go back and forth about Marlo. I'm just not. It's stupid. It's stupid and it's fucked up. And I honestly feel like maybe she shouldn't be on the show. If you want to talk about getting somebody off the show, I personally feel like you could keep Sonya, you can keep Drew, you can keep Kenya, you can keep Candy if you want to. Or you can get rid of Kenya and Candy if y'all feel like it's that serious. I don't want them to go anywhere. I feel like this is their show at this point. I really do feel like if we get newer girls who have real shit going on in their lives, then Kenya and Candy will be able to be more present in the scenes with the groups. You know what I'm saying? But just like on Love and Marriage Huntsville, we've already given you all of our lives. Let's focus on somebody else's relationships. Let's focus on what was going on in somebody else's house. Okay? Because for the longest, Sheree has been able to skate in and out, getting checks from this show, being successful, and she ain't had shit going on in her life. So I feel like the idea that as soon as Kenya and Candy stop producing constant drama in their personal lives for y'all, the idea that they should now be fired is fucked up to me, considering the fact that Marlo and Sheree have been able to skate by on this show for seasons, not really giving a fucking thing from their personal lives. Not giving a damn thing. We don't know a man that Sheree or Marlo have been with the exception of the Tyrone and Martell situation, and that is very recent. If you think about how many years Sheree has been on this damn show. And we didn't even see what happened with Tyrone until he went to jail. She had been dating Tyrone that whole time, was on the show, and we had never seen the nigga. So you know that they have parts of their lives that they are strategically not sharing, but yet they want to keep going at Candy about not constantly having an endless well of drama to give to this fucking show every season. It's really ridiculous. It really is stupid. It's stupid, y'all. Ooh, I got that hope. Okay, anyway. Sonya talks to her mom and her sister. Y'all, what's wrong with Sonya's sister? What's wrong with Sonya's sister? Somebody explain to me what is wrong with Sonya's sister. First of all, Sonya's sister is extremely, bitter to me. And when I say that, I mean it's because you are really upset that your sister is not fighting for you, your husband, and your kids to stay in the house with her. But then you're also saying that you're leaving regardless. So that makes me feel like you're mad about something that you don't feel you can express. And so you're going to get mad at every little thing because you don't want to be honest about what you're really upset about. Because to me, it sounds like you don't really want to leave Sonya's house because you know if you and your husband have to leave Sonya's house, you're not going to be living as comfortably. And instead of just keeping it a buck and saying that shit, you want to keep telling Sonya that she needs to fight her husband on y'all's behalf because who's going to take care of Deuce when she's traveling back and forth? Because once again, where's Ross again? Where's Ross? Does anybody know where Ross is? Girl, we ain't seen Ross since you spent $100,000 on that nigga birthday party. We ain't seen him since then. But yeah, her sister really was giving nonsensical to me. How you mad about both things? How you trying to like guilt somebody into seeing how it's more in their self-interest for you to stay in their house? And I feel like you, as much as you feel like Sonya doesn't want to be in her house by herself with Ross leaving and going and all of that like he do, I also feel like you don't want to be left to just deal with your man either. Because you know he ain't shit. I'm just saying, like, all of that shit she's telling Sonya about Ross, girl, you know good and goddamn well you do not want to be left to have to fend for yourself with that man that you didn't married and had all them children with. It's not all, it's two. But still, I think that's too damn many to have with a nigga that seemingly can't take care of you. Okay? Yeah, Sonya better not another baby with Ross. Okay? Sitting up there arguing with this nigga about if he gonna have another baby. You don't even live here most of the time. You mean to tell me that business needs your attention that much? I don't believe that. I feel like, Ross has a good setup going on where he gets to do whatever he wants to do. I don't know why he's pressing Sonya to have the family move out of the house. You're not even there. So what are you pressing that for? Is that so you can isolate her? Y'all been together for a long time and you ain't had to isolate her yet. So what's going on? Like, their whole situation is weird and I don't know what's going on, but they're not being completely honest about it either, even though we're seeing the ramifications. We're seeing the results of whatever's going on behind the scenes. Ross want them people out his house. They don't want to leave. Sonya don't want them to leave. Ross is never there. Girl, I don't know what's going on. Thank you, Miss P, for the super sticker. Thank you, Roman Raymond, for the super chat. I enjoy watching Kenya and her friend at the upcoming hair spa. It was a nice break from the manufactured drama. I want to know more about the nice things that's going on with Kenya and Candy. I do want to see her do the salon. I'm not going to lie. We're about to talk about that. DeQuasia, thank you for the super chat. I saw the clip between Marlo and Candy on YouTube, and the viewers were split to where Marlo was doing too much, but felt that Candy could have validated Marlo's feelings. Yeah, I'm not playing that game with everybody. Her feelings aren't real. There's no need to validate fake shit. She doesn't really feel that way. Like, this is bullshit. It's bullshit. It's a lie. That's what I'm saying. It's not real. Marlo's not really sad. She didn't really care. It's none of that shit. I don't know why everybody believes that. If that girl really had an issue, she would have said that shit a while ago. And also, you could have said something to Candy before you decided to get upset about it. Because if you didn't even know you were upset, why are you upset at everybody else about it? Like, make that make sense. Kenya is opening her hair salon for Kenya Moore Hair Care. It was a really great space. And I know that they probably don't want the girl Akila on there because another one, good life, boring. People who don't have a lot of bullshit going on in their lives are not good for reality TV a lot of the times. It's the same thing with Mayetta. That's why y'all don't really see it for Mayetta like that, because Mayetta doesn't have any drama going on in her life, but she is a good personality, meaning that she's, people like her. She has a lot of friends. She's in the industry. She's well connected. Those things make you a good socialite. They don't make you a good reality star. And she's not really trying to be a reality star. She's just trying to be a friend to the show, which is why I'm not bothered by her being there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like Mayetta. Yes, Mayetta is fun. She's not always with the negative energy. She kind of counteracts some of the bullshit that goes on in this group. I think she provides balance, I think. So I like her. I like her personality on the show. I don't think everybody needs to be doing the most, okay? I appreciated Cynthia's vibe, even though everybody else felt like Cynthia was so boring and all of this shit. I always enjoyed Cynthia being on the show because every personality can't be Nene, okay? Everybody can't be Marlo. Everybody can't be Kenya. Some people have to chill, okay? Everybody can't be Drew with the quirky, weird shit that got us questioning what's going on here. Like, everybody can't be that. Some people just got to really be the calm person that only pop off ever so often. Like, it's okay. So, yes, Kenya talks about how Roy is always out of town, so she doesn't know what she's going to do with that relationship. She's very awkward and weird when it comes to dating. And then Kenya talks about Marlo scaring Brooklyn by kicking a door at the hotel room. And Kenya brings up Marlo slashing a girl's face and going to jail for 6 months. Kenya knew what she was doing in this moment. I think that the conversation probably was since Marlo wants to keep talking about this shooting as if Candy is responsible, we're going to talk about the violent shit that you're responsible for. Because for the longest, we've not been talking about it. We've not been bringing it up. We haven't. But now, since you want to start making it seem like this shit that happened at Candy's restaurant is somehow, a result of Candy's bad or negative energy or her not being a good person. Oh, well, now we're going to talk about all your shit all the time. We're going to keep bringing it up. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it. I'm just not. Everybody that felt like it's fucked up when they bring up Marlo up in seasons we have not heard about that. We're not about to sit up here and act like everybody has consistently thrown that shit in Marlo's face. If anything, they've thrown her being a hoe in her face, and that's only because she calls everybody else hoes so often, counting people's pussy miles often. I mean, I told y'all, I feel like Marlo got a crush on Candy and just doesn't know how to deal with it. I think there are a lot of black girls that grew up in the hood, and being a gay girl is not cute, but they are sexually attracted to women, and I think they have a lot of self-hatred about it. And so when you see somebody that's comfortable in their sexuality, you really don't like that person because they're able to be comfortable and have a man and also fuck with women if they want to. Their sexuality does not make them look like a bad person, and you are envious of that because you wish you could be free and, say that you really like women. I think Marlo likes women. I do. I think she wouldn't be honest with herself about it because of the circumstances of how she grew up. But something about Marlo makes me feel like it's some underlying self-hatred. And it's always aimed at women's sexual experiences. And I remember especially, her harping on whether Candy was a lesbian or not. That's when I first started feeling like, Marlo, why you keep talking about this? Like, Candy's already said what it is. The only reason somebody would keep bringing something like this up is if it's something that's going on in their head. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I have to wonder if Marlo may really like women. I don't think that's something Marlo will hide. Why do you think that? I think so. I think there is a subset group of angry hood girls that like other girls but don't feel like they could actually be like that because those girls get judged. Like, she is just a hater too. But I could be wrong, y'all. I'm open to being wrong about this. But I feel like just as there are a lot of straight black men that have this aggression towards gay men, and you wonder why, and it's a lot of times because they are scared to be honest about who they are, and that anger kind of is projected on to people who are openly how they are. I do feel like there are groups of black women that are like Marlo, that are like Shekinah. You know what I'm saying? Like you could. It's just something that they give off where it's like you really have a strong homophobia, and you also are too worried about this. You also don't really like men like that. Like not really. You know what I'm saying? In this, right, Marlo fears being judged, and I don't know about y'all, but like being called a bull dagger is not nice. It's not cool. Being called a dyke, it's not cool. Like people do not treat you well when you are a black woman and openly gay. I don't know why y'all think that everybody sees, lesbians or women who like other women, like everybody's so accepting of them, but they're really not. They're really not accepting of it. The only time that it's accepted is when men are watching porn or when men want to be turned on by seeing two women they find attractive fucking. That's the only time is a thing. Yes. Happy Pride. Women are so sexually suppressed. Absolutely. And that's why I said it's also the time frame in which Marlo grew up. That age range of people, it's a whole bunch of black women I feel like that haven't been able to explore their sexualities because of the societal norms during that time. Like women that grew up in like the 60s and the 70s, like women that like other women, those women were ostracized. Growing up in the 80s, those women were ostracized. White women were able to have those, more, engagement in those areas. But black women were not allowed that. So I absolutely feel like, there's a subset group, and we need to start talking about that subset group of black women that seem to be so, anti-man, but also be wearing, be real homophobic. Girl. Some of y'all really come off a certain way. Yana Glee, thank you for the super chat. Marlo can't be a girl's girl because since the beginning of time, her girls, mom and sister ain't been there for her. I get it. I get it. I'm not even expecting her to be a girl's girl. You know what I'm saying? I understand. Oh, girl, thank you for the super chat. It's just the idea I've had, y'all. It's just something that I have, like, noticed about. And that's why I said Shekinah, too. Because it's just something that I pick up on that makes me feel like y'all probably would be so much happier if y'all could just, I'm saying, even just figure it out for yourself. Try it, if you want to. Hold up. I disagree with that. I do believe that lesbians are more accepted than gay men. So this is what we have the disagreement, Miss P. I did not say that lesbians are aren't more accepted than gay men. I just said I don't know why y'all think that they are accepted. And the reason why I say that is because from my own personal experience growing up and being with women and being, having to hide that, being bullied about that at school, being told that, I ain't raising no fucking lesbian. All of my family members constantly inquiring about it and talking about me negatively behind my back. The way I lost one of my best friends in life when I told her that I was a lesbian at the time, because that's how I felt. I'm bisexual, but at the time it felt like I don't even want to deal with boys. I'd rather deal with girls. But you be figuring it out, okay? But I didn't say that gay men were more accepted than lesbians. That's not what I said. And why do you feel like lesbian women don't also threaten the patriarchy? Women that don't fit into the confines of, oh, if I don't have a man, like they defy the patriarchy as well. Like the fact that I don't give a fuck about whether, oh, you gonna die alone if you don't do what a man wants you to do. Girl, I don't give a fuck. If a man don't want me, I'll go get a woman. Defying patriarchy. Okay, anybody that lives outside of that norm. Child, listen, we ain't gonna talk about Sonya, girl. We not gonna talk about Sonya because I done already told y'all how I felt about Sonya a while ago. Thank you. Like, in my own personal experience, it has not felt at all like I was being accepted. And only it being accepted under the male gaze was always such a negative feeling to me. It feels rapey. For lack of a better term, it feels hella rapey when niggas is like, ooh, kiss, touch each other. That's fucking nasty. Leave me alone. Whatever I'm doing with this woman is not for your gaze. And it used to sicken us growing up. Child, listen. Anyway, Sheree's son Cairo has a new baby. Baby, we are so happy that Cairo is a present father and that Sheree raised him to be a good father to his preference. We are so happy for them. My problem comes in, why are we just not finding out about the baby? The baby 3 months old. I feel like Sheree don't really want to be no grandma. Child, it's too much all about her. She don't want to be no grandma. Dr. Contessa too. Dr. Contessa is another one that I feel like has a, you probably been able to. And this is the thing. They can experience things secretly in sex, but they cannot experience it, as a relationship openly in the world, which is two different things, y'all. It's two different things to be able to be openly in a relationship with somebody versus fucking them on some sneak shit. I mean, was she not a preference? Was she not? Did you not see it? Did you not feel like, oh, well, child? All right, let's do it. Come on. Let's do it. Bondi, I seriously want to know how is suggesting those ladies are closet lesbians different from what people were doing to Tyler James from your other video? Let's see. I'm actually having a conversation about certain aspects of our society that I feel like we need to talk about. Women do need to be more comfortable. Men need to be more comfortable being who they are. The difference between me and those people is that I don't think there's anything wrong with people being gay because I'm bisexual and also like women and men. I see how a man can be attracted to other men and how a woman can be attracted to other women. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But I do feel like in our society that because of the way other people feel about it, we can never talk about it. We can never talk about certain personality types or how people are oppressed in their sexuality so they don't express these things and then they show up passive aggressively in other ways. My conversation is more nuanced than, oh, I'm trying to call out Marlo for being closeted. That's not what I said. I didn't even say that I felt like she was really closeted. I just deeply seated, rooted self-hate that's going on. And she likes to harp on certain things about other people. Tyler James hasn't done anything for anybody to make assumptions about his sexuality. He is an actor. We don't experience him in real life. Marlo is on a reality show and over time has done and said several things about lesbians and women and watching other women's coochies in a way that I feel like we can assess her sexuality at this point because she so often does it with other people. Does that answer your question? Okay, so Drew and Ralph. Y'all, Drew and Ralph scenes are very weird to me. He has surgery. He has surgery every time she has surgery. So y'all are in competition all the time. So y'all in competition all the time. Okay. Like, I don't know what else to say about that. It wasn't just about I feel like I don't care. I explained it. I don't care whether you're talking about Marlo or Shekinah or anybody else. I've already expressed and explained it. I don't think there's anything wrong with anybody liking women or anybody liking men. I don't think there's anything wrong with being gay. I think that the people who were talking about me feel like there's something wrong with being gay, which is why they are very passive and, passive aggressive and weird about sexuality. We should talk about it. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with people being gay. Get over it. Yes. Drew, surgery, basketball trainer for her son. Drew doesn't know if she should go to Courtney's event, but we know she gonna go. Drew keeps saying we don't use the word shooting. Girl, Drew, stop. Yes, Drew is performing. Thank you, Abu Bari, for becoming a member. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I think that cousin story is fishy. About Courtney? Absolutely. Like, girl, we don't believe it. But okay. Drew is performing if However Ralph is in consistent preference this season. What you mean? Consistent preference. What you mean by that? He is very performative. He is very performative to me. Anyway, both of them are. Like whenever they're on camera, it feels like they're just doing shit for the camera. So I don't really be caring about these scenes like that. So Candy talks to Kenya about what Drew said about Marlo. They get to the event. No one knew Sheree had a 3-month-old grandbaby. Again, like y'all are not really cool. Y'all are not really friends like that. It's fake as fuck. Because I feel like Marlo didn't even know. Candy is feeling away when, because she was like, I'm like, bitch, are you shocked? Or are you pretending to be shocked? Either way, it's really weird. Okay, Candy is feeling away when she gets there. You can tell that Candy's pissed, but because Candy had already found out from Kenya before she got there about Marlo, going around talking to everybody about this shooting, and really is just giving the energy that you're trying to make it seem as if Candy's restaurants aren't safe. And I think at this point, Candy has had it up to here with Marlo in the bullshit, right? So she like, listen, Marlo, before we even start this, can we talk? Because my energy is not going to be right if we don't talk about this first, okay? So Marlo says, okay, well, Drew, come on, let's go over to the side. Like, why did you call Drew? Why did you call Drew? Like, what was the point of that? Did you think you was about to double time them? Like, what you thought was going to happen? Like, I don't know why she called Drew over, because essentially what you're upset about has nothing to do with Drew. It didn't have anything to do with Drew from the beginning. You was mad at Drew because you felt like Drew didn't go hard on Candy. Girl, what? Why should she be going hard on Candy? Why should she be going hard on Candy? Why? To question her about her nephew shooting? What are we going on hard on Candy for? What information are y'all trying to get from her? What do you think happened? That's what I want y'all to tell me. What do you think happened? Because at this point, I feel like you're insinuating something and you're not saying it because you don't want to actually say what you're insinuating because you know it's stupid. You know it's crazy. So you're just going to keep insinuating without actually saying what you're insinuating. And it's passive aggressive. And it's messy. And it's aggravating as fuck. So Candy asked Marlo what happened? What you were saying about your cousin, nephew? What is going on that you keep trying to draw back to me? Marlo at first wanted to know what Candy, like, why? You're the one with the issue. Why don't you just tell Candy what the fuck the issue is? Like, so Marlo says everyone is so direct when they say all of these things about her. Oh, Marlo sliced somebody's face. Marlo's a criminal. Marlo's a whore, and it was just like, Marlo. But nobody said any of that before you started going off about how, why can't y'all call it a shooting instead of an incident? Girl, nobody has said anything about you. Nobody said anything about you, Marlo. So why are you now acting as if people being harsh with you is why you're bringing this up? Like, it's confusion. It doesn't even make any sense at this point. So Candy didn't want to deal with her nephew's death. That's what she said. It's nothing for Candy to deal with, sweetheart. It's not. And it's really crazy that everybody's acting like this is something that Candy was supposed to have done something about. What was Candy supposed to do exactly? Oh, send flowers. He wasn't working for me. Why should I have to do that? He wasn't working for me at the time of his passing. Why should I have to do that, Marlo? Marlo, did you tell me when the services were? Or did you just tell me that your nephew used to work at my restaurant and now he just passed? And I said, I'm sorry to hear that, like everybody else would. Assuming Candy is supposed to take all this responsibility, she already gave the nigga a job. What else do you want from her? Candy already did her part. She gave him a job. What else you want? Did you buy flowers for your nephew's funeral, bitch? Did you pay for the catering? Got your fucking cousin up there fake crying and laughing and shit on camera trying to act like somebody upset with Candy, girl? Please. Please. The family member who she said is so hurt about Candy. Girl, you know how my family feel about Candy. Girl, that was bullshit. That family member wasn't even crying. That lady was laughing. Go back and look at it. Anyway, so she says Candy ignores things and people allow her to. I do feel like Candy ignores things, but I really feel like she ignores when she sees that people are a piece of shit. Like, you see this person ain't shit, you still gonna give them a job, you still gonna give them an opportunity, you still gonna help them, even though you see they ain't shit. That's what I think her main problem is. Marlo says she has pictures of Candy with her nephew, and Mayetta wants to make sure it doesn't get heated. Marlo says, what does it say about her character? My nephew got shot by somebody he met at OLG. Candy says, that's a lie. That's a lie. Why are you putting that out there? And what the fuck does that have to do with Candy? Like, girl, what? Candy gets upset and says, nobody is saying that he did not work there. I said he wasn't working there at the time of his death. So it's not common practice for us to reach out to employees who passed, who don't work for us anymore. We all know that. That's like common sense. So if you don't know by now, she's simply trying to malign Candy. You're trying to make Candy look bad, and you're trying to make yourself look like a victim of some sort in the process. So Candy gets upset, gets loud. Kenya comes over. Candy tells her, if she pop off, don't grab me. As a small person, I have been in situations like this. They always do this because you're the person that the other person is coming at. You're upset now, right? So you're upset, so they come and they hold you back, and the person that's actually gaslighting you hauls off and fucking hits you while they're holding you back. That's happened. So at the end of the day, if we're about to get into it, don't grab me. Don't touch me. Okay, Candy was pissed. Listen, if she pop off, don't. Okay, I was with her on that. I was with her on that. Okay? And I do feel like everybody was coming around to collect Candy because they don't want Candy putting any of her businesses in jeopardy over fucking Marlo when Marlo is there to antagonize people so she can keep this one check. Okay? Candy says she's a fake ass bitch. Okay, Candy meant that shit. Drew is saying she's aggressive. Get her away. She's aggressive, Drew. She is, but stop, Drew. Sonya is like, why is Marlo the only one being called aggressive right now? Sonya, shut up. Sonya, shut up. You want to talk about Drew is a lap dog. Bitch, you're a lap dog. First you the fuck out as soon as she met you. And here you are, coming to her defense, putting a battery in your back for her, getting your little cape. Sonya annoyed the fuck out of me. And I honestly can't stand the way Drew, first of all, you weren't there. Marlo absolutely screamed and came at Drew in a way that would have got her hit by anybody else. Nobody saw that shit. So the way Sonya is coming at Drew is annoying to me because you weren't even fucking there to know why Drew feels the way she feels about Marlo. Marlo did haul off and if and scream in that lady's face knowing that Drew wasn't going to hit her. Marlo is one of those people like Jocelyn. They do a lot of screaming and howling and doing all of this extra shit. It's a way for you to think they crazy so you'll get intimidated. If you get nervous and intimidated, they got you. To me, I felt like Marlo knew that Drew wasn't going to fight. That Drew wasn't going to haul off and hit her. She knew that. That's why she took liberties with Drew by jumping in her face and screaming on her. She couldn't do that shit with nobody else. And if anybody else was there, she wouldn't have done that. She took the liberty with Drew because she knows that Drew is not a fighter like Drew pretends to be. Okay? But at the end of the day, Sonya, you annoy the fuck out of me the way you look for opportunities to have an issue with Drew. Because that's what that felt like to me. Anyways, Marlo is screaming and going off about, what does that say about her character? Marlo, we know that you see us talking about how you're low of character, how you're the bottom of the barrel. So now you're trying to project that onto Candy. I'm not even paying attention to you with that. What else? Candy said, yeah, I'm crying. Because then Marlo started to be like, oh, what you gonna cry? What you gonna cry? I'm like, oh, so rinse and repeat for when you and Sheree got into it all those years ago? We're not even about to do that with you. Candy said, yeah, I'm crying because I can't choke your ass, bitch. And I was just like, child, I know the feeling. Marlo says you can't confront Candy. Her character is horrible. Candy says let's talk. Once they all get outside, let's talk about how you sliced that woman's face. We want to talk about fucked up character. Candy, Kenya, Drew, and Mayetta are all outside talking. Candy reads the text that she still has from back then when all of that shit went down. Marlo never mentioned anything about her nephew. The day after she texted her about the nephew, she texted her asking if she could get some money. Like, oh, let me do the cameo thing for you. Or a cameo, like, let me hook it up. So Marlo is basically trying to get some money off of hooking Candy up with a appearance of some sort. That's what it sounded like. So what it sounded like is that you talk to Candy when it comes to this fucking money. But you ain't say shit about how you felt about your nephew. And now that we're calling you out on that, this episode we're moving the goalpost. And now you didn't even know you were feeling a way about it all of this time. This shit just recently came about as you've been in therapy, right? As those people who you were talking to at the beginning of the episode was coaching you through. Yeah, I picked up all of that. Whatever. They were coaching her based on the conversation that they'd had before they started taping. All right? So Drew keeps saying that Marlo wanted to fight Candy. I don't think that that's what was happening at all. I don't think Marlo wants to fight Candy. She doesn't want to get sued. Marlo says they keep bringing up 23 years ago. Oh, so now you're the victim? Okay. No, bitch, you keep bringing up the shooting at the restaurant. That's what keeps happening. Nobody brings up 23 years ago until you bring up the shooting at the restaurant. As if that's supposed to mean something. Like, I really do feel like you're just trying to destroy Candy's business. Like, that's just really what it feels like. That's why you got us talking about this over and over again. And the truth of the matter is, people get shot so frequently out here in New Orleans. I would never not go and get some fried chicken from over there if I was in the area just because of some shit you saying on this show. But you know, that's just my experience. Drew saying, I'm from Chicago. We don't say shooting. Drew, shut up. That doesn't make any sense. People say shooting from Chicago all the time. Saying shooting does not mean that you are perpetuating anything. But I do think that Drew was somewhat right, because on this show, every time we talk about it, I do think that it is putting a stain on Candy's business in some way to keep talking about it over and over again like this. And I think that's what Marlo's trying to do. Sonya is upset at Drew for saying Marlo is a trick. Everybody seemed to get mad and start, like, I guess, talking shit about Kenya and Drew and Mayetta, because after all of this happened, Candy left and they didn't go back inside. To me, I feel like nobody wanted to film Courtney's event anyway. Nobody wanted to film Courtney's event anyway. I don't know you. I don't really like you. You feel like another thirsty person they trying to put on this fucking show and force into our friend group. And I'm not really here for it. I showed up. We had the altercation. We had the big fight. Now everybody can go home. If y'all want to stay here and act like y'all are friends with this girl, y'all can do that. But I'm sure that Kenya, Drew, and Mayetta all felt like our job here is done. So now we can go home. That's why they left. It wasn't about following behind Candy. It was about the fact that, well, the big argument has happened. The scene is done. Okay? Oh, Lord. Yeah, Courtney getting way too much screen time, and I don't understand why. Like, I don't know who she cousins with or friends with on the production team, girl. I don't know, but I ain't here for it. I ain't here for it at all. What else? Marlo is inside fake crying, talking about, leave my past alone. Y'all, Marlo is faking. She's faking. Her feelings aren't really hurt. She doesn't really want Candy to be more sensitive to what she's going through. She's just coming up with something to fight with Candy about that can also make Candy look bad and make her look good. That's all she's doing, y'all. It's not real. It's people in the comments, Candy could have been more. Girl, no, it's not real. We're not being sensitive when people are just trying to manipulate situations. No, we're not being sensitive to you trying to manipulate me. Fuck out of here. I'm sorry. Child, that's the same thing I would have told Glendale on Bell Collective. I'm sorry your grandmother passed. No, I'm not coming with you. And no, you are not going to cry on my titties. Get the fuck out my face. I'm sorry to hear about it. I'll drop by the hospice and see your grandmother when I got time. You know? But I ain't doing it with you. Get the fuck out of here trying to use your grandma going into hospice as a way to convince this girl to come and fuck you. That's what it was. Oh, we gonna cry together and then we gonna fuck later. But you know, they ain't really got nothing going on for real, for real. So that's what she gonna do. Girl, Letitia don't really want to be done with Glenn. I don't believe that for a second. All right, before I go, y'all want to talk about Summer House? Because I know I have been doing that for y'all, talking about Summer House at the end of these. But I didn't want to really fully review it because I don't feel like making notes for shit. But I can just tell y'all how I feel based on what I watched. Something is wrong with Silas. First of all, how long have Silas and Jasmine been married? They haven't even been married that long. And she starts out this episode crying about how marriage is so hard for her. Then, you know, it's just, their whole situation was just weird. You know, like, I don't know. But I feel like any man walking around with no facial hair like that, like, I just, we could talk about Summer House tomorrow because I watched it, but I didn't really watch it. But I do feel like Silas is controlling. I do think it was so funny to me. And this is what I always think about these niggas. Y'all only really get mad about women and them being beautiful and being attractive when you can't control them. Like you enjoy women being sexual and beautiful and all of that, but only when you can control it. So you get with this woman, you know how she is, but then you try to, like, you know, dampen her. You try to bring her down. Stop being how you are. You're a wife now. All of that shit. Y'all remember he got mad about her getting drinks when they go out. I don't see the big deal. Me and my husband actually had a conversation about this. And just because somebody buys me a drink, it doesn't mean they're going to fuck me. And it doesn't mean I want to fuck them. But I'm going to take the drink. It's a free drink. Like, the fuck? Like, I don't understand. Like, why should I be paying for all my drinks when I'm this beautiful? What am I paying for all my drinks for? Why? Okay? That don't mean you're going to get something out of me. This is not the early 2000s or the fucking 90s. You didn't buy a drink and not bitch you my girlfriend. That's not how any of this works. But I thought it was so funny that he was excited about when that woman offered him a drink and he was willing to take that drink. And then it wasn't an issue. And so I often feel like a lot of these niggas be jealous of the way women get attention because they want that same attention. You want women to buy you drinks. You want people to dote on how beautiful you are. Like, I don't know. But oftentimes I feel like men are in some type of weird competition with women. And it's like, y'all, we don't have the same roles. Why are you upset? Right. Didn't have no wedding ring on. Y'all, I don't like Bria. You can send her on. I appreciate Nick. Nick may be suspect to me. And I mean, like, I don't know what's really going on with him. Like, you know, with the women's and stuff like that. You say you got a girlfriend at home. Everybody was like insinuating something. And we thought it might have been that you were bi, but we ain't know. And then it come to find out that you was trying to fuck on all these girls, but you got a girlfriend. So you didn't want, you know, you was kind of trying to wait and see what was going to happen first before you told everybody you had a girlfriend. Yeah, like, I don't really know about Nick like that. But I do appreciate him constantly calling Silas out on his misogynistic mindset. I do appreciate that. I do think that men like Nick are needed. You really do need the men around the other men that are going to speak up and say, hey, son, you know you sound crazy, right? And Nick, last episode, made a really great point to Silas about how, you know, you want to feel like you're always protecting her. But she's going to have to go out on her own. And if you're always trying to protect her, she's going to dull her senses to protect herself. And I've said this so many times that oftentimes women will allow men to view them being controlling as protection, kind of like with Latrice and Cliff. But the truth of the matter is, real protection of a person means you want them to be able to be good with or without you, because you know in this world they're going to be out there sometime in some place without you, and you still want them to be able to take care of themselves. You still want them to be able to protect themselves and stand on their own 2 feet. When you assume that position for them all the time, then when they're out in the world, they're going to relax their defenses and be looking for somebody to protect them instead of them protecting themselves. A man that really loves you is gonna arm you with what the fuck you need to take care of yourself, because he knows he can't always be there. Anything else besides that is a nigga trying to control you. You really want to protect me? Take me to the gun range. Give me a fucking buy a bitch some mace and a cute little stun gun and make sure it's charged before I leave the house. If you're really trying to protect somebody. Anything else I ain't got time for. Cause y'all can call it protection, but it's control. Right. I find it none of the women are in a sorority. Silas trying to make Preston speak for him because their frat was so whack. Child. Like, what you want me to do about this situation? Like, Bria is spoiled and obnoxious as fuck. Yeah, that's what I mean. Nick is sneaky. But still, like, I still like how he checks Silas. Because I feel like not enough men do that. Not too much on a Gemini. She's a June Gem, though, child. I mean, I'm going to leave y'all alone. But you know how y'all be when y'all be how y'all be. Okay. Wait, hold up, Bondi. You seen Kenya tell Drew for go for Marlo's throat? Yeah, no, I did see that when they were in the parking lot. Kenya was like, "I'm gonna tell you how to get somebody off rip. They bigger than you like that." She was like, "Go straight for the throat." I was like, "Oh yeah," but this is what I was trying to tell y'all about Amber Rose. A lot of times it's not even just about being the light-skinned girl. It's just about being the pretty girl. If you're somebody that's very naturally beautiful and the men like you, then there are girls that are going to be jealous and want to fight you or cut your face because the boys like you. It's always like that, y'all. So a lot of times, pretty girls that grew up in the hood know how to fight because they had to. Because somebody was always trying to fight them because they're pretty and they think they're too much. If they didn't grow up going to a private school, if they didn't, but Amber wasn't a pretty girl. Why we gotta have these? Y'all know what I mean. Stop being stupid. You know what I mean. Y'all be looking at that picture of Amber when she was in middle school like you don't know being light-skinned was good enough. Come on. Come on, y'all. Being light-skinned in middle school, that's the same thing as being pretty in high school. You know what I'm saying? Or short girls, this is true. Fact, you got to protect your face. Right, Nick hiding his girl from the women is typical, but him hiding her from his boys was kind of surprising. It was all like, why are we hiding things that we don't need to hide? Like, it just made us question everything, child. Amber said in her interview with a white radio host, "I'm absolutely not a black woman, so why?" She said that she's not. She's biracial. She cannot ever be considered a black woman, y'all. We need to get out of the idea that just because you're means you're black. No, but I really do think for some people, when you show up in the world and you look black to everybody, that's just how they assign you. Amber doesn't look black to me though. She was light skinned. Yeah. She was light-skinned. That's all Amber needed to be when she was growing up. Was light-skinned and very light, biracial, probably amongst a whole bunch of girls that base level light skin is my color. You know what I'm saying? But Kenya Ben said she used to fight because Kenya was also grew up, very beautiful, even though she's very dark-skinned. And that's why I'm telling y'all, it's not always about, when people were trying to make, it's not about colorism. No, it's about who everybody is generally thinking is attractive. If you generally feel like somebody, everybody feels like that person is attractive, that's just what it is. And we know in our society, light skin can make you attractive even when you're really not that pretty. And if you really are that pretty like Kenya, then you're going to have to fight people sometimes, especially if you grow up in poverty. The schools don't have it in their curriculum or in their rule book for you to get put out if you fight. And she had a head full of hair. Oh, yeah. Girl, do you know how many times I done had girls put their hands in my fucking hair when I was growing up trying to see if my hair was real? Yes, my hair is real, bitch. My mama is a hairstylist. Get your hands out of my head, bitch. Mad because my roller wrap was roller wrapping. Okay? Like, it ain't my fault that my mama do hair and my roller wrapping. That's not my fault. I don't know what you want me to do. I don't like Jasmine and Silas either. We get it, Amber. You're a white woman. We don't care. I really don't think there was anything wrong with what Amber was saying on College Hill. I don't. Amber was basically saying, I don't fit in with either. And I don't feel like we should argue that. Like, duh. Obviously, she doesn't fit into both. Most biracial people say the same thing. They feel they're not black enough for black people, and they damn sure ain't white enough for white people. So they're gonna get ostracized in one way or another. And I also feel like if you grew up in poverty with your black mom, and maybe felt like if you lived with your white dad, your life might have been better, you might have some underlying, you know what I'm saying, like aggression or negative feelings towards black people because of your experience growing up, and also growing up in poverty with your mom, who is considered the black parent, even though her mama is biracial. Or really like an islander. So I don't know how that really, because islanders can be just multiracial, not necessarily biracial, but multiracial. How do you feel about Shanice flashing the house 2 times? Okay, so let's talk about Shanice. I'm glad you brought that up. So first the fuck all, Bria, you was just walking around, running around naked with Shanice. And if you've been friends with Shanice for this long, you know how Shanice is. I feel like her old man wasn't even paying attention to Shanice when they were in the hot tub. He was on his zone and she was on her zone. So when Bria decided to get upset behind that, I was just kind of like, girl, you just drunk and you stupid. But I was with her mama when her mama was like, girl, Shanice don't, you know how she is. That's just who she is. Why you getting mad about it? You was just a minute ago running around with your titties out with her. But I guess now since the men came, she's supposed to change who she is. I get that, but I also feel like you know who Shanice is. Why are you taking it personal? That lady not trying to take your man right now. You know what I'm saying? No, Shanice is inappropriate. I disagree. I disagree. I feel like she was, when she showed her titties to the dudes, she was trying to get their attention. At the end of this episode, she did that shit because she didn't like the way Bria made her feel. Bria, you was just running around with your titties out with me a minute ago, and now that the men are here, you're now like basically acting like I'm trying to take your nigga and coming at me sideways about it. Yeah, I feel like that's confusing. We all drunk. We all drunk. We all drinking. Y'all know how this girl is. I wasn't really mad at Shanice. I wouldn't have did it, but I'm also not mad at her. I feel like that's the way Shanice is, and whenever it's fun for Bria, it's cool. But the men come around and now you want to shame her behind it. I didn't like that. I'm sorry. They were all completely naked in the hot tub before the men got there. They were all completely naked. I'm not as like, I'm not as uptight about those things. To me, it's just not that serious. If everybody in the hot tub is fine, like nothing happened. Y'all are upset because she was naked in the hot tub, but they weren't the only people in the hot tub. If Shanice wasn't also, I'm sorry, if Bria wasn't also running around naked with Shanice like 5 minutes before, then I would probably feel differently. But the fact that they were all running around naked right before the men got there, I just kind of felt like, why did you have to come at her about it like that? I don't think Shanice was trying to steal your man. Shanice said they skinny dip with her man. And I believe it too. Another thing, yeah, Bria went around talking to everybody and didn't say anything to Shanice. It was like she just wanted to be mad about it. Did you feel like threatened by Shanice? Because to me, that's what it feel like. It feel like, I'm sorry, am I loud, y'all? I'm sorry. It feels like Shanice, let me see. Am I loud? I can't tell. Because I'm on StreamYard. Normally I would get my levels, but I'm not on my other program, so I can't see no audio levels right now. But anyway, y'all let me know in the comments. I kind of felt like everybody was drunk and everybody was fucked up, and I don't like the kind of like, attacking Shanice when everybody's fucked up. Like, everybody's fucked up. If you felt a way about it, why not just have a conversation with her after the fact? Like, or say something to her. Pull her to the side and be like, hey, friend, the men are back now, and I'm kind of not comfortable with you being naked in this hot tub with my man. But you couldn't say that to her because you knew she would be like, well, bitch, you did it to me. Okay? Bria, nobody want that mailman. Girl, get going. And that's my point, y'all. I don't, because I feel like a lot of women are like that. Like, oh, you naked around my man. I'm making it easy, And I just kind of feel like if your man is going to fuck your friend, then he going to fuck your friend. And you should find out about that sooner than later. But if he not, then what we spazzing out about? The man wasn't even paying no attention to her. So yeah, I just kind of feel like Shanice is who she is. Shanice gives me white mom. I wasn't mad at Shanice either. And Cruella normally does that with her. Cruella gets on my nerves. Yeah, like when she got mad at her because she didn't come and stand by her or come to her defense when she got into it with Mariah. Like, bitch, I just got here. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not about to do this shit with Bria where 1 minute you want to run around naked with the bitch and then the next minute because your man then showed up, now you going to shame her like she's wrong for being comfortable in her nudity. Y'all, some people just like being naked. It's not always about trying to take your nigga. And honestly, your nigga shouldn't be able to get taken. Like, a naked body is a naked body. Like, it's a naked body. If your nigga is all, and honestly, I also feel like Bria's man probably wasn't even caring that much about it because he's from Europe. European people don't feel the same way about nudity and about sex the way American people do. Just so, I don't know if y'all know that or not, but, you can go look up, like French culture and, like other European, they don't have the same taboo on nudity and sex that American people do because the Puritans moved from Europe and came to America. And the reason why a lot of us have very puritanical mindsets about nudity and about sex and, everything's taboo and nasty and wrong and all of that is because it came from Puritans, white people that had very starch religious beliefs as it pertains to our bodies and sex and nudity and all of that. That has basically been prevalent in American society since the beginning of its conception because of who actually came here and created America. Puritans. Look it up. That's why whenever y'all be, online with all of this, oh my God, she had sex with 36 men. Oh my God. Like the nigga can tell y'all he had sex with 100 and y'all like, okay, cool. You see a woman say she had sex with a lot of people and now all of a sudden, oh, these hoes and y'all have no shame. Why should she have shame about that? Why should you have shame about how many sexual partners you have? If you don't have, and honestly, I feel like everybody get STDs whether you have a lot of partners or not. Like the whole idea of shaming people behind sex is just real 1990s and 1980s to me. And a lot of y'all like to stay in that mindset, and that's fine. But that's not where I'm at with it. So Shanice being naked did nothing to me. Like, we know that people are naked under their clothes, right? I'm just saying though, y'all. Like, I'm just saying. Right, the other guy in the house, Child Simon, I feel like didn't even look at her. Like he wasn't the whole time they showed him, that man was like over here somewhere. Shanice is trying to take someone down. She came out the shower last time around 3 of the guys thinking someone was gonna join her, even the gay guy. She did not care. Yes. No, I remember that. And I said that. Like, she came outside like she was trying to, she was trying to see who was going to bite. She was trying to see who was going to come and get it. But, so, nobody bit, right? She ain't force her pussy on nobody, so what's the problem? Like, they're titties. Like, And the reason, to me personally, I feel like, I don't know why people act so crazy about titties. Because technically, I just kind of feel like men have titties. Women have titties. Y'all just act crazy about women's titties. But like everybody has titties. Anyway, Puritans got kicked out of Europe for being prices, for being prudes. Yes, for being prudes. Because people don't, like, we're not doing all of that. I don't care. America's hypocritical mindset, double standard. It really, really is. It really is such a double standard and interesting to me. Like, y'all literally be like, all of social media is full of sex. And then as soon as a woman is like, yeah, I'm fucking, now everybody's like, oh my God, what does the world come to? Just like the niggas that always want to shade the women on OnlyFans. And it's like, why are y'all always talking about it? It's because y'all are the ones that are online paying for those women all the time. And you mad that you can never pay enough for her to just belong to you. So y'all like to get online and have all these conversations about how bad OnlyFans is. I don't want my girlfriend to be on OnlyFans. Like, You on there a lot, aren't you? Because people that aren't on OnlyFans don't understand why y'all are always talking about it. It's because y'all are on there like that. So it's crazy to me to shame the women whose content that you pay for. Like, it's crazy to me. Like, you're paying for the content, nigga. If it was not for the fact that you want this content, people would not be doing this the way they are. But y'all want to see these naked women. And then y'all shame them for it after the fact. Y'all are weird. I need concubine wife to give the major a Kama Sutra book because it seems like he doesn't rotate his hips. That jackhammer will tear a cervix up. For real. For real. Why y'all making me think about sex? Anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah, I know nothing about. I'm not on OnlyFans. I'm not on OnlyFans. It's about self-respect. Is it? Is it about self-respect? I'm gonna tell you the thing that I find funny. Whenever people say it's about self-respect, I always wonder why another person's self-respect bothers you. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that get mad and they're like, you should have more respect for yourself than that. It's like, why? Oh, you really want me to believe that you care about how I feel about myself? I don't think you really care about how I feel about myself. I don't think you do. I'm just saying, like, I think it's crazy. I think that it really is about shaming people because that's what y'all are socialized to do. You're socialized to shame people for being naked because Adam and Eve, as soon as they felt like they had did something wrong, what happened? Now all of a sudden I'm ashamed of nudity. I'm ashamed of my body. I don't know. But personally, I just kind of feel like it's crazy to me how many people get upset about another person's self-respect. I'm not upset about your self-respect. I don't give a fuck about if you naked or not. I don't care about how you respect yourself. Leave me alone. If you're not, if you like, you being naked has nothing to do with me. So, and if I don't want to look at your naked body, I can just look away. As long as you're not like impressing anything upon me, then that has nothing to do with me. And how you feel about yourself, your self-respect, that absolutely has nothing to do with me. Like, so that whole idea of, oh, women, you know, you have no self-respect. It's like, do you feel like men have no self-respect when they show off their body parts? So when you see those niggas on Twitter showing y'all how big they dicks are in comparison to a remote control, the first thought that comes into your mind is this nigga does not respect himself. Hold up, I don't care. I don't care neither, but I'm not gonna respect you. I can say whatever about you then, but you're gonna do that anyway, and that's still more a sign about who you are than that person. But that's what I'm always telling y'all. Y'all feel like, you know, if a woman showcases herself in a certain way, that gives you license to disrespect her. And I don't feel like that. I feel like you feeling like I can say whatever about you, though, you're going to say whatever you want to say anyway. You're going to say whatever you want to say anyway. And to me, again, that is more a signifier of you and how you feel about yourself and your situation than it is that you feel like I can just go and disrespect somebody because I saw them out naked. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, oh, I can disrespect you because you naked. Like, what? How that work? How that work? I feel like, you know, the only thing that will allow me to disrespect another person is if they disrespect me first. And I don't feel like every little thing that somebody does is disrespectful towards me. A lot of people have that problem. Y'all think everything is disrespectful. When the truth of the matter is, it really ain't got nothing to do with you. Just another aspect of the patriarchy. Shame women and blame women because it's our fault that men can't control themselves. Basically. I think men should go their way and women should go their way. We don't get along and we are nothing alike. I beg to differ. I beg to differ. Okay? Because I know where we do get along and where I would like to continue to get along in the goddamn bed. Okay? Nah, I'm just saying. Because if you pretty, got long hair, and light skin, and smart, good luck, honey. You will be bullied. I definitely did. They tried. They tried to bully me, but I was getting bullied at home. So I was just going to curse your ass out and we was just going to fight. You couldn't bully me. They tried, though. They tried really hard, especially in high school. When I cut all my hair off, oh, they tried so hard to bully me. Nice try. I was ganged up on. I remember I got hit one time by a girl, and the only reason that I didn't hit her back is because I knew they were going to jump me. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I had a crush on that girl too, and she hit me. But I also was raised that it's okay for people that you like and who you know have affection for to hit you. So I eventually talked to that girl after that. I hope I never see her in person again because I'm gonna remember that she hit me. And not that I was attracted to her and had a crush on her. But that was very hurtful. Mary. Anyway, it's not about self-respect. It's about having respect to friends and family, doing certain things in front of their significant other, even saying certain things. So you feel like Shanice was disrespecting? You think it was her intent to disrespect Bria being naked? See, I don't think that. I don't think that. I also feel like you don't have to abuse people when they do things like that, because a lot of the times you make them feel worse when you don't even give them all of that energy, when you just kind of have the the mindset of, oh, is that what you want to do? I'm not responding to it, but if that's what you want to do, that's on you. Just stay over there. Okay, just stay over there. But I do feel like a lot of times people look for opportunities to abuse other people. And y'all just do the same thing that men have taught y'all. If a woman acts a certain way, now I can disrespect her. But ask yourself why it really bothers you. Why do you feel like you can or you should be able to? Why do you want to disrespect her? Why? Okay? Let's remember they were children being dark. I was teased real bad, fought real tough too. Child, yeah. It's always a Mary or Ashley. Bullied at school is wrong. Bullied in social America is wrong. However, I feel a way when people compare the two as being equal. I don't know if it's equal as much as it's just a signifier. Like it happens in childhood and it also happens in adulthood too. Everyone should mind their business. That's how I feel. Girl, that's how I feel. I don't think it was her intent. Brian should have just had a conversation about comfortability. I don't think anybody cared but Bria. Patriarchal society is a motherfucker. It is. Child, I ain't about to open up these phone lines because I gotta go. I gotta get ready for the Ooh Ladies first panel that we doing tonight. I don't know yet whether I'm gonna make it public or not, or members only. I'm not sure yet. But either way, y'all will see it by Thursday. Shout out to the person I saw singing the Eagles in the chat. Oh my god. Y'all too funny. Okay, let me see. Exactly, it's not that deep. It's just really not. Like, I just kind of feel like it's not that deep. And I feel like the only reason you would feel that way is because you felt intimidated in some respect. Her nakedness made you feel intimidated or insecure about your nakedness. I don't know. But at the end of the day, like, it's just not that deep. I was bullied by my mom, so I was a bully in school. I wasn't a bully in school, but because I was bullied at home, I wasn't going to be bullied in school. I used to say shit that bothered people, though. I was just way too honest. No, I know. Y'all gonna see it either way. It's just that it's we have to do an early episode. We are too consumed with self-righteous indignation and respectability politics. Yes, we are. Way too consumed by it. Way too consumed by it. And it's crazy because none of us live up to those standards, but we push those standards out on other people as if we've never fallen short. And that's where that, oh, everybody isn't, everybody's human shit comes into play. All right, I'm about to read some of these and I'm gonna go. Anthony, huge thank you for the super chat. Sorry, Bondy, off topic. By the way, Sheree beat up Kim's cooch, and now the fact that her son has a baby by preference speaks volumes to me. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you, Yana Glee. Marlo can't be a girl's girl. I read that one. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Seven How, for becoming a member as well. Abu Bari, thank you for the super chat. Marlo learned from Phaedra that the best way to attack Candy is to link her brand to something criminal. She's trying to link Candy's name to a murder and gun violence. That's dangerous and low. Thank you. And it is. Anthony, thank you for another super chat. Child, Cairo's preference, baby, is just business as usual in black man land. Exactly. The disloyalty of it all never ceases to amaze me. Sisters, please open up your options. Absolutely. Please open up your options, okay? That's why I want y'all to stop being so homophobic. Maybe y'all options might include another woman. Because I feel like I have never been taken care of better in my life than when I dated women. It is what it is. Like, women are going to clean, cook, buy shit. They want to take care of you. They want you to feel taken care of. Like, it's insane how you gotta argue with niggas for the shit that women do without even thinking about it. Girl, if me and this nigga don't work out, when I tell you I am on the first flight back to Ladyville, okay? I might dip back and forth to you niggas every night again, child. I don't know. But child, I want to be loved on and taken care of. And most of the time, that's women do that. Journey to Jasmine, thank you for the super chat. Love these therapy sessions. I'm really torn between the African retreat and the Afro Tech this year. Girl, do what's best for you, but I'm definitely going to be in Ghana in November. Okay? Do what's best for you. Listen. Yes, being gay. Okay? Listen. I will go back to women so easy. And with a girl, now Bondy being straight does not mean you're a homophobe. Well, Keisha, that's not what I said, sweetheart. Why y'all do that? That's the second time that y'all have just attached meaning onto some shit I didn't say that I did not say. I did not say that. Oh my God. Y'all gotta stop telling on yourselves. Y'all be telling on yourselves. Ain't nobody say that. I love y'all. I love y'all. I hope y'all have a good rest of y'all day. I'm gonna be, y'all gonna watch Love and Hip Hop Atlanta tonight? Okay, so not straight bashing. Let me tell y'all something. Straight people, if y'all feel bashed, I really don't give a fuck. Like, it's too much straight shit around here. It's too much straight celebration, bitch, for you to be out here feeling like somebody is straight bashing. Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here with that, y'all. I cannot with y'all. Y'all not gonna watch it? I'ma watch it, girl. I'ma watch it. It look like it's gonna be good. I'ma watch it. We gonna come and talk about it tomorrow, though. Okay? Let me tell y'all something. All of y'all people that be at the top of the totem pole acting like y'all a victim, I don't have time for y'all. I'ma rip the fuck out y'all straight asses if y'all don't stop it. Okay? I'ma rip the fuck out your straight ass if you don't stop. Because it don't make no sense for you to feel bad about something that's the status quo. Like, that don't make no sense. Oh, bitch. You straight, huh? Oh. Y'all so stupid. I cannot with y'all. I cannot. Okay? I will go. We're going to talk about Jessica White and all of that on Love and Hip Hop tomorrow. But we're going to do that tomorrow. Okay? Let me go so I can get together the OLFP. All right? Love y'all. See y'all later.